using the Cada Hexagon Bombshell Mold. Bombshell molds are kind of a new thing in the bath bomb community. They are really cool because you can leave them hollow, or they basically are hollow, and then you glue, each bath bomb is 2 pieces, and you end up gluing the 2 pieces together when the bath bomb is dry. So the key though is that it's a hollow bath bomb, and so it can be slightly difficult to work with. And the Hexagon, of all the bombshell molds I've worked with, the Hexagon does require the most finesse and will likely be the most difficult one that you work with. So this is probably not a good bombshell mold to start off with, but if you're an experienced bath bomb maker, you should have no problem with it. Hopefully after this tutorial, I'll have been able to give you some tips and tricks to help you figure it out. So I'm gonna mold the bottom piece first, and I'm gonna load the mix in lightly. Now I don't pack it in, and I've seen other people create their bombshells differently with different techniques. So there are definitely different techniques out there. This is my technique, so hopefully it helps and works for you. And I load it in very lightly, and I hollow out the centerpiece because that press piece has kind of a piece that's going to be pushing into it. And I'm going to really gently rock it back and forth. Now, one of the reasons this is a more difficult bombshell mold to work with is because it has those edges, right? The round bombshells, like the cauldron mold or the heart bombshell, those have rounded edges, and it makes them a little bit easier to work with because the edges kind of roll. And this one has those points, and it just makes it just slightly more difficult to work with, but not impossible. Not impossible. So I've just made sure that my edges are all smooth, and I'm just going to flip it over and use a spoon to tap the sides. I'm not going to tap the top on this one, like the bottom part. I'm just going to tap the sides, and I'm really kind of tapping in the middle. And I will change the camera angle for you in a minute and show you a side view so you can kind of see what I'm doing from the side and how I'm loading it. The second piece, the top piece, is a little bit different to work with. So, and I mean, I show you to it. Like, I've seen people who don't hollow out their mold, and so I'm going to show you, if I don't hollow it out, what happens to me. So even though I'm packing it nice and light, and you can still see the stem inside there for the stopper hole. If I don't, I do exactly the same technique. I mean, I do everything exactly the same. I'm rocking it, gently rocking it. If it just does not work for me if I don't hollow it out. So I've seen other makers not hollow out the center pieces, and it works for them. So it could have to do with a difference of mix, or just, I don't know. The moon was in, I don't know, the 9th house or something. I don't know why sometimes bath bombs work and sometimes they don't. They are finicky little beasts, so I don't pretend to know all the secrets, but this is what I do, and so maybe this will work for you as well. So if I don't hollow it out, it breaks for me. It just breaks for me. So now I shall show you. Come with me, and now I shall show you the ways. I will show you the way. It is the way. Okay? This is the way of bath bombs. So when I hollow it out, it works for me. So that's all I know. If you take one tip away from this, it's the little hollow it out method. So once again, I'm going to sprinkle my mix in lightly. Just sprinkling it in, like, think about it being magic. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in. Now my mix is a lighter mix. It's it might look dry to you. I don't know if it looks dry to you or not, but it's a lighter, fluffier mix. And this is Robyn's Humid Weather Bath Bomb recipe. That's me. I'm Robyn. So, and I live in a humid environment, so I have to use humid weather bath bomb recipe. And it tends to be oil heavy, which is actually good because if you use 3D printed molds, they tend to work better with oil heavy mixes. So there I am again, just slightly rocking the sides, and you don't really have a lot of wiggle room to do that with this mold. But what that's doing is, and you'll see when I change the angle, but I overfill it. So the mix is coming up out of the top. And when I'm rocking it, I'm pressing those flat pieces kind of down, you know, side to side into the mold and getting it nice and flat. And so here I go, and I'm gonna just tap it out again. Now tapping is also really key. I mean, you know, there's a few key things that are going on here, but like I said, if you're an experienced bath bomb maker, right, and you should be able, like, after you watch this, I'm hoping that you'll be able to figure out the technique to get this to work for you. It's not something I would recommend. Like, if this is your first time to use a bombshell mold, this is probably not the best place to start, right? This is more of an advanced mold. I mean, I think bombshell molds are probably a little bit more advanced anyway, but this is definitely, you know, you need to have a few batches under your belt at least, and to get here. So, okay, so there we go. Rock it, baby. Yeah. Okay, so we're rocking the mold, just gently rocking it back and forth. And I mean, I'm taking my time so that you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be very deliberate about the rocky motion so that you guys can see it. But if I'm doing this in real life, it's not going this slow, right? I'm just kind of whipping through them. So it's something that you'll be able to get a rhythm on it, and it's not going to take you forever and a day to do this. You know, you can knock them out pretty quickly once you get your technique down on it. And see, I'm showing you, I'm not hitting it in the bottom, I'm not tapping it at the top, I'm kind of tapping it right in the middle to get the best release for me. This works the best. And then you want to lift straight up, and voila. The other thing is that, you know, these are hollow, so they're fragile. Try not to be moving them around too much. I don't think I show this, but I moved some of mine around, and I ended up cracking one of my tops through doing that. And I always make a couple extra tops for this. I make extra tops and I make extra stoppers, because, I mean, number one, for the stoppers, if you can't put a whole bath bomb together because you didn't make one extra stopper, like, dude, that is painful. Okay, so make a couple extra stoppers so that doesn't happen. And then the top is the most likely thing to crack, even if I successfully make them right now. They're more likely later on down the road. I'm a butterfinger, so later on down the road I'm clumsy, and, you know, I drop one or something like that, because it has that hole in it. It's going to be the more likely one between the two. It's going to be more likely to crack. And you see that I do tap the top. I don't know if I mentioned that. I do tap the top of the what is it? I don't know what this piece is called. The plunger, not the plunger piece. The part with the hole. I tap the top of that. Okay. And I don't do that for the other piece. I just do it for this one. I just feel like it helps release it a little bit better. And voila, you're gonna release straight up, and there you go. Just don't, you know, leave it alone. Don't touch it or anything for a few hours. I used the heart-shaped stopper. Now, when you do the stopper, you're going to sprinkle the mix in and then just tap it. I mean, you're not squashing it in there, like, or packing it or anything. I just tap it where the little piece is, and then squeeze it together. You don't need to press it down on the table or smash it really hard or anything like that. You're just going to kind of squeeze it together, and then you're going to unmold it, and you will get, I'm going to use a little heart. They do have, Cada does have different shaped stoppers that you can use. My molds are marked. A lot of my molds, if they have a front and a back, they're marked. The back part is marked. So I saw that I had the back part on top. I want to unmold the front part first, so I flipped it over so that I could unmold the front part first and then the back part second, so that I could set it down nicely and easily. Now this is what they look like when they are all together. Don't they look great? Thanks guys for watching. If you want to find out more about how to make bath bombs, if you want to find out more about our recipes, visit us at bathfizzandfoam.com. You can visit our Facebook group, Bath Fizz and Foam Bath Bomb and Bubble Bar Support Group. And happy making!